Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of the Confidently You podcast. How are you? How are you getting on this week? How are things? Are you surviving or thriving after the Easter break if you're a parent? Are you glad to be back in routine? I have a client and she's a teacher and a parent, and she's glad to be back in routine, but also she loves the holidays, but the holidays are just out of routine and things for her feel a bit more challenging. I think sometimes you get this perception of, oh, it'll be easier in the holidays, but it won't because the kids are off and you have to do all this stuff that you're not normally doing. Bedtimes are out of sorts and everything's out of routine. And even if you don't have kids, some of you might resonate with this, like when you go on holiday or have a break, you're like, oh, I'll get so much done when I have a break. And then you don't because you're out of routine, so you just don't get as much done. It's a weird life we live, isn't it? Isn't it a weird life we live? Anyway, I hope you're all thriving. If you are still munching on that Easter chocolate and you don't want to be, big tip here, girls. Out of sight, out of mind. There have been studies done based on what you have on your countertop is what you'll eat more of. So having fruit on show is the obvious choice to a healthier diet. It's there, it's on show, and then just put your chocolate away. Put your chocolate away, out of sight, out of mind. You're allowed to give it away. You don't have to keep it. You're allowed to give it away. If you really do want it though, you can also section it up into get some little bags, the little sandwich bags, and just make portions out. And then you just go and have a portion. But like I've said before, make it a ritual, make it something that you really enjoy. So have a portion of your chocolate with a cup of tea, sat down, reading your book, lock everyone out, get everyone out the house, bye-bye, go away, and just sit and chill with it and enjoy it and savour it. So it's not guilty and it's not like, naughty and secretive and just shoveling it in because you haven't eaten all day. It's about making these habits and making things fit in with your life better without this. Like, it's about thoughts, feelings, and emotions. So I'm good. I had a mad week last week. I just felt like Superwoman. I did a 10K at the start of the week in the sunshine. You're all on bank holiday, but I don't do bank holidays if I don't have to. It's check-in day. It's the busiest day of the week, catching up with all my clients, doing their check-ins, seeing how they're getting on. In the afternoon, because it was sunny, I was like, I'm going to go for a run, and ended up just getting it said my second fastest ever 10K. I don't think it is. There was a time before I didn't have Strava. Now, I'm not a big Strava girl. I'm not that bothered about it. I don't pay for it. I don't really follow people on it, but it's good for obviously seeing my stats and my results and how I'm doing. I use these things really for heart rate and obviously pace, but without being, I'm not a super fast girl. That's why I went on the trails, girls. If you want to slow down and run slower, go on the trails. Anyway, 10K at the start of the week, super fast. And it's the fastest I've gone since I had my injury last year, because my hamstring injury was basically like, it's whenever I went fast that it flared up. So that was great. I did a couple of really good strength sessions. Honestly, I was like, felt like an absolute weapon, girls. 2 in a row. Did an hour in total on the Stairmaster, and then I went out and did a long 20-mile race. It wasn't a race, it was just a run in the countryside on Saturday. Oh my God, I died. Absolutely died. Oh my goodness, it was so hard. It was so hard. Do you know what I found? This isn't what the podcast is, by the way. I will come on to today's topic. But do you know what I found? If it's a big hill, I'm fine because I'll walk it. So I'll run, plod along, and then get to a big hill and power walk. But this route I did this on Saturday, character building, but also it's a good test of where I'm at. It was like slow, steady uphill, so consistent up. So I was jogging it and just running, and I was just like, this is killing me. And then all the terrain, the stiles, the gates, the amount of gates I had to open and shut, big gates, big metal gates, and just the terrain, there was like muddy tracks that tractors had gone down, so it was just so uneven. You're all long grass. It was just everything, girls, right? It was just really, really hard. But we always focus on the positives, not the negatives. I did it. It's the second longest run I've ever done, bar my ultra last year. Running like that is so much easier when you're running in a race because you're with loads of people. I don't race, by the way. I just join it and participate. But because there's people there, like, cheers you on. Plus, I'd had a mad week of training. My legs were probably like, what are you doing to me, woman? And it was just so beautiful just being out, and I saw the world's largest dog, met the world's largest dog, who then later on saw Martin and Una because I'd recognised, because I'd described Una. So that was cute that Martin then met the world's largest dog, and the owner was like, "Is your partner running?" And that was cute. And Martin then got a video of Una sniffing around, and she'd caught my scent. And I said, "Oh, that's where I actually wiped my hands on the grass after stroking said world's largest dog, who was a bit smelly. Not too smelly, but a bit smelly." So she smelled me. That was so cute. Poor Una. She was like, "Mama's been here." And I'd obviously just run off in another direction. So some beautiful horses with bright blue eyes. I've never seen a horse with bright blue eyes. Loads of lambs, loads of birds, just being outside. What a wonderful life I have. And even though I was dying and I had to go into my special place and go, "Suck it up, Helen," out loud. I do this quite a lot. I'm just very grateful that I have the ability to do all this stuff and working legs and things. But yeah, feeling a bit battered after that, but we will rebuild back up and we go again. And I am joining in a. Every time I say race girls, just remember this is just like a participation. I won't be winning. You do win a medal. You can see these all behind me. These are all my medals. Call these medals. That's participation medals. So yeah, I'm feeling good. Even though it was hard, it's character building. And sometimes it's got to be hard. It's not going to be easy all the time. It can't be. If it's easy all the time, you're just not pushing yourself enough to that next level. And that's what gets you fitter, stronger, and faster, and better, and yeah, all round great. I did sort of come on I don't have periods, but I did sort of come on my period, which I don't have, but I do have a bit after the run. And I was like, that makes a bit of sense why my legs were just like, "No more, stop this madness. Stop this madness." So today's topic is something, it's really close to my heart, and it's something I know a lot of you struggle with. It's a mindset topic today, and hopefully my insights that I've learned along the way, now I pass this on to clients and I can pass it on to you, will really help you. And it's more about understanding how your brain works and how you react to certain things and how you want to react to certain things and how you feel with certain things. So the title of today's podcast is Comparison, the Thief of Joy, or Your Wake-Up Call. Now, I used to be comparison is the thief of joy. Stop comparing yourself to others. But I started questioning myself on that about a year ago and asking myself different things. Maybe it was 2 years ago. And it completely changed my outlook. So hopefully today, this will give you some insight into wherever you're at now and how you're feeling. And if you're comparing yourself to others, which we all do, by the way, no one doesn't do this, how you can flip the narrative to make it a positive and not a negative. So why comparison feels so awful? So you're feeling good and then you open Instagram, social media. I always say social media is amazing, but it's also shit. There's this double-edged sword of it, and how we use it really affects how it affects us. So you're looking at someone and you're like, "Oh, she's leaner than me, she's more consistent, she's further ahead. Why is she like this? How come it's so easy for her?" And we're just, as humans, we are wired to compare. It's how we make sense of the world. But with modern life and constant exposure, it's to highlight reels. Now, I hope you notice with me here and on my social media, even though, yes, it is a bit of a highlight reel, I will always be transparent and share the shit as well. Like, for example, my run at the weekend, how hard it was and how much I struggled. Because I could have just put up a picture of me. If you saw my social media post from Saturday, great. If not, go and have a look at it, because there's a picture of me on the first slide. And it was when I was halfway round. I just got to a reservoir, absolutely glorious. Sun was shining, and I did a quick video with a stop with some Kendall mint cake, and I jumped in the air, and then I posted my Strava time, which was like 20 miles in 4 hours. And then I said Instagram, well, I put social media versus reality, and then you flip over and there's a video of me walking through knee-high grass, walking, saying I'm 17 miles into my 20-mile run and I'm absolutely dying, because that's the reality. I could have just shown you that screenshot of me jumping, doing a 20-mile run, quite a quick pace for me, when reality, and then in the caption I put, the reality is that Strava says that I did it in 4 hours, but it was actually like 4 hours 36 because of my elapsed time was so much more. That's just the way it is. I don't know why Strava does that. I've changed my watch so it just does the whole time, so it doesn't just give you the elapsed time. But basically, whenever I stop to put my jacket on, take my jacket off, put my waterproofs on, take my waterproofs off, stop and see a horse, or stop to do something else, or open a gate, or anything like that, all my stop time added up to an extra like 30 minutes. So yeah, I just thought I have to be real with this, because I genuinely think otherwise I'm lying to myself, and that's just who I want to be, and I want to be as transparent as possible. I could, have 1 million followers by now if I was fake and lied and did all this sort of stuff, but I just don't want to be that person. But a lot of people's social media will be that highlight reel because they won't want to share the rubbish times with you, because that's what it was made for. It's kind of, people are getting better now at being more transparent, but a lot of people will just put across this like, I'm on my 10th holiday of the year, but you don't actually know, that her and her husband arguing every minute of every day. So you just look at her and go, well, why can't I have 10 holidays a year in this happy family life? But she could be miserable for, So comparison doesn't just steal joy, it distorts reality. And that's not a good place to be in if you find yourself in that place. So the truth no one talks about. So now I want you to flip the narrative. Comparison isn't always toxic. From real world perspective, and even with like wisdom on platforms and social media and things like that, break it into 2 types. So you've got destructive comparison. She's better than me, I'm behind, which leads to shame and paralysis and giving up. I'm not good enough. I can never be like her. Why, she's got it easy. All these things we tell ourselves, oh, it's easy for her, or, different things like that. Or you can instead flip it and have constructive comparison, which is something I started doing a couple of years ago. I don't get periods. I still get cycles, just in a bad mood, or just feeling that self-deprecating. I will find myself comparing myself, but most of the time, if I'm in a better mood and better space, I can pull myself out. But if I'm in that mood where I'm flipping through and I'm like getting annoyed with people and then getting jealous, I do try and then go, right, get off social media. You need to go like, why are you doing this? And it's the questions you ask yourself. But constructive comparison can lead to, if she can do it, why can't I? I absolutely love this phrase. What are they doing why can't I do it? Start to see people who have reached where you want to go. They've just lit a way for you. They're showing you the path. They're saying it's possible. And it can lead to motivation, direction, and growth. So comparison isn't the problem. The meaning you attach to it is, and it's how you think about things. So instead, we're going to use comparison as a signal. So reframe your comparison. And when you feel triggered, ask yourself, what exactly am I reacting to? What is this? So you've seen a post. Oh, I'm triggered about this. And I talked about this the other week, and I talked about me getting triggered about stuff and started asking myself why I get triggered by stuff. And I was getting triggered by people, and I was like, oh, actually, it's because I used to be like that. And it's a reflection of me. So then you need to change it round to, is it something I actually want or something I think I should want? So I did this once with someone I know years ago, and they seemed to be doing really well, doing certain things and different things going on in their life. And I got jealous. And then I went, actually, is this something I really want? Now, hats off to her. She's an amazing person, by the way. This isn't like, it's not about like not liking someone or things like that. It's just like jealousy because you see people have this certain life. And she has children. And personally, I don't want children. Each your own, and I love children, by the way, and I've talked about this before, but I just don't, it's not going to be part of mine or Martin's life. And I actually thought, well, no, actually, I don't want that life. Like, good for her, and I know she's happy, and I'm glad she's happy, but when I was, like, getting jealous and stuff, I was like, well, actually, I don't want that life, so it's about carving out what I actually truly, genuinely want and carving out my life, and that looks different to everyone's. And then you also need to look at it and be like, well, what does this reveal about my next level? How have they got there? Do I need to, what steps do I need to get to where they are? Or do I need to carve my own path? And what do I need to get there? What action do I need to take? And sometimes that feeling in your chest, it's not jealousy, it's information. You just need to start critically thinking and questioning yourself. Honestly, girls, you'll have such a difference in your life if you start questioning things. about how you think and what you think and why you think in a certain way. So instead of comparing yourself to someone else, whenever you think like this and you get the jealous feelings, I want you to stop and I want you to start looking at yourself. And I want you to look at you now versus you 3 months ago. Your habits, not just your body. So have you got more energy? Are you sleeping better? If the answer to these are no, then you need to think about, well, actually, what do I need to get there? Well, I need to start prioritizing sleep. I need to start planning my meals and eat more nutrient-dense food. I need to go out for a daily walk. Is your mental health in the bin? Right, I need to get off social media. I need to use a blocking app like I use. Or some people get a brick. Anything that works for you. I need to connect with friends. Maybe I need to start a new, get back into a new hobby. What did I really enjoy? Am I strength training? Am I doing something that I love? Your consistency is more important than someone else's results. It's about you and you being consistent. I think half the time as well, like I used to do it, especially with fitness coaches who are doing really well in the industry and getting loads of views, loads of likes, loads of new followers. And obviously, I then think their business is doing well. Sometimes it's not, by the way. Sometimes someone might look like they're really successful, but they're actually not. People lie as well. Some people do. But a lot of them are really successful and doing really well. And then I look at what they're doing and then I'm like, do I want to do that to get to where they want to be? Or I know some people who literally work 6 months, don't take a day off, don't have any time for themselves, don't have a life outside of coaching. And I actually don't want that because I used to do that and I burnt out. I'd rather now I am successful, I'm doing really well, my business is growing, but it's not growing as fast as maybe someone else is because I do take weekends off and I do go on holidays, especially now in the last year. I've decided every quarter I'm having a holiday because what's the point otherwise? What you doing? I could grind, push, and then what if I get hit by a bus and I've not lived my life? What's the point? So you've got to have this balance of in between, and that only comes from you. You're the only one who can decide how you want to be successful and succeed. So your only competition is the woman that you used to be, and I absolutely love this, and she's already so proud of you. If you've made changes and made progress in the last, year, 3 months, 6 months, week, whatever, just go back to who you were before. And I always say this to my clients because if they're at a bit of a plateau and they're struggling a bit, I always say, and it usually comes down to they're extra busy or they've got more on at work or something's happened in their life where it's outside their control. And they're like, oh, I'm just not, doing very well. And I'm like, no, let's go back to who you were when we first spoke. Look how far you've come. And the amount of times I have to say that to women to like, look how far you've come. Like I could look at people and be like, oh, they're, running really fast or running these mad ultras or running all this other stuff. Look at me, I've not done that well. But like, I did my first trail half marathon a year ago and now I'm training for a 50 miler. That's That's ridiculous. That's from like 30, well, it's 14 point something miles. 14 miles for the first ever time last year, which absolutely killed me, by the way. I was dead after it and my legs were in so much pain. To going out on a Saturday and running 20 miles. And I ran a 35-mile week last week. That's the biggest mile week I've ever done. But other people are running 100-mile weeks. But I have to pull it back because for me saying I've run a 35-mile week, to some of you, you'll be like, whoa, that's loads, that's amazing. Whereas instead of me being grateful for how far I've come, I could compare myself to others who are doing more, but you just have to stay in your own zone, stay in your own lane. It's really hard because our brains will automatically go out. You just have to pull it back in and remember, writing these things down, writing how far you've come, having a stage of where instead of just goals going forward, look back and see where you were 3 months, 6 months ago. Keep a diary, keep a log, keep information of everything that you've done or get a coach to remind you as well. So here's some tools that are going to help you moving forward. Curate your feed. So for me, I just had to block some people. No, I didn't block, that's a lie. I mute people on social media or unfollow them. If you're getting really like jealous and it's really affecting your mental health and you're doing the work and you're saying, this isn't actually inspiring me, it's just actually making me upset, mad, sad or angry, then mute them, okay? Just mute them. Have time restraints on social media and comparing yourself. It's like the big fish and little pond thing, isn't it? If you go to your local fitness class and you've been going there ages and you're the best in that room, you are the big fish in the little pond. But if you then move out of that and then go to a competition, say somewhere else, and there's loads of people from all different walks of life in this fitness competition, and you're not even, in the top 50%, that's little fish in the big pond. And it's just about where you surround yourself. It's good to have a bit of both. That's why it's always good to be like, not just stay in that easy place where you're top of the leaderboard every time and, you're like, oh, I'm really good here, but there's always more. It's good to have a balance of both, but it's also good to like turn it off sometimes. Turn off that social media, focus on you, focus on where you're going and what you're doing, and surround yourself with like-minded people that, it's good to have a friend that pushes you. Like if you're a runner, running's always the example I use, but let's use deadlift. So if you're going and lifting in the gym, it's good to have someone that's a bit stronger than you and you'd be like, oh my God, look at her, she's amazing. But also sometimes it's good to take on someone new, take a new friend to the gym who's never done it before, and you're like, oh my God, I am, look how far I've come. That's not like putting that person down, just saying, oh yeah, I am doing well. And that person will shoot up as well. And you can be a role model and inspire someone as well. And that'll help lift you. So turn your comparison into curiosity. What can I learn? Not why am I not there? Why am I not like her? What are different? Just start questioning things. Start questioning things in your mind. Like, why am I doing this? Ask yourself out loud. Why am I thinking like this? What am I achieving out of this? Right. Nothing. Maybe I should just mute these people for a while. Limit scroll time, especially when you're feeling low. Just get outside, touch some grass. Just honestly, when you're feeling low. Literally said this in one of my check-ins to my girls yesterday. I was like, you need to go outside and touch some grass. We need to pull ourselves back to nature. My morning walk, I just don't take my phone with me. Like this morning, it was so glorious. There was a frost on the ground. What? 14th of April, what's going on? Frost on the ground, absolutely glorious. Mike was with me, but we didn't talk. And sometimes that's really nice as well, just to be in someone's company and not talking. The sun was rising and there's just loads of bunnies in the field, and we just stopped and we were just watching the bunnies. It was just so nice. But you don't need your phone sometimes. You just need to get away from that. And if you find yourself consuming too much, just limit your time. It's not good for you in the long run. And then just anchor back to your own goals and how far you've come. 10 years ago, I would not believe that I could run what I do now, never mind be a coach or do anything that I do now. So yeah, you're always doing well. As long as you're trying, you're doing well, and that's all that matters. So comparison can steal your joy, but it can also show you your potential. So that was another episode of me basically sitting on the fence. I hope you like my sitting on the fence ways. It must be frustrating sometimes for some of you. But yeah, that's it for today. Short and sweet. I like to mix it up. Sometimes I'm 40, 50 minutes. Sometimes I'm 20 minutes. Have a great week. And if you want any help or assistance, if you want to get leaner before summer this year and actually finally make a change, stop comparing yourself to others and get results at last, then my details are in the show notes. I'll be happy to help you or discuss how I can help you or give you some free tips. So just reach out to me via social media or my website. Have a good day. Be good. Bye.